Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 15 June 2023, Thursday night, 9 o'clock. Time for a knife sale on the Apostle P channel, and it is a monster tonight. Before we get into the meat of it, let's do a little bit of housekeeping as usual. First up, I need you to be familiar with and agreeable to the terms of the sale. Those are going to be posted on the screen for you in just a moment. I will also reprint them in the description underneath this video. Also in the description underneath this video, you're going to see 3 links to previous videos on the channel. The first and most pertinent is my primer for buyers video. That's a 38-minute expanded explanation of the terms of the sale. Goes over in great detail how we do things and why during this weekly sales event. So if you're new to this, please give that a watch. It'll make your purchase experience go much more smoothly. Second link is to my FAQs for Consignors video. That one is pertinent to you if you're interested in using this weekly sales event to move along some of your collection. And then the third link, as always, is to my rates and services video for the TheApostleP Knife Service, the original precision sharpening service for the online knife community. So the all-important video description contains those 3 links at the top, then the terms of the sale in the middle. And at the bottom will be the list of tonight's inventory, complete with timestamps on the left and pricing on the right. In the pricing column, you will see 2 prices generally. The one on the left of the slash will be the price of your knife as shown in the video. The price on the right as sharpened by the TheApostleP Knife Service. There will be no next day sharpening this week as I try to catch up now that I'm healed up on my sharpening backlog. So expect your sharpened knife to ship in about 4 weeks. If you see the word sold in lieu of pricing in that far right column, that knife has been bought and paid for by its new owner. No need to send an inquiry on anything marked sold. All right, I think that's it for the preliminaries. Let's get the terms up on the screen, and we'll be right back with the sale. Here are the terms. All right, let's get to it, shall we? First up, we got a few leftovers to work through from last week with some great prices. First among them is this little guy, the Microtech Kestrel. Pretty sweet little manual action folder. Whoops, it's better than that. I'm just not very right-handed. So here is the Kestrel. A gorgeous bead-blasted sort of hawk bill with a gentle recurve in 154 cm steel. Blade length is 3 1/8. The handle will be hard anodized, black, aircraft grade aluminum, and then you've got some craton inserts on the show side. Very nice little knife in hand, by the way. It is a titanium liner lock, run on phosphor bronze washers with thumb stud deployment. Nice, sweet, smooth hydraulic action. Great lockup. Centering's perfect. Condition is going to be near mint, no box. It is serial number 1208, and it was born April of 2000. These seem to be doing pretty big money on eBay. We started it last week at $425, moved it down to $395 for the weekend. These are rare and like hen's teeth. Your price this week, $350 like it is, $380 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Microtech Kestrel. Next up, we have a fixed blade from Spartan Blades. And it's kind of a large box for a pretty cool little knife. It's the Spartan Aries fixed blade. Right now, it looks like it's in the sheath the wrong way. No, it's not. It's just set up for a left-hand carry right now, but you can easily remedy that by moving the dangle. Kydex and nylon, all very heavy duty. Whoops. I moved my background. There's the blade. S35 VN blade. A spear point with a big old swedge unsharpened on top. And they call this Spyderco. Flat dark earth. You get 5 3/8 inches of blade. Looks like 5/32 stock. It is scaled in OD green canvas micarta. The handle is 5 inches. Very nice in the hand. Nice bit of jimping. Got a little paracord lanyard tied. We're going to call this one near mint in box. Price of these brand new at your favorite interweb retailer is going to be $380. We ran it last week at $320. It didn't sell. Dropped it to $295 for the weekend. Still here. So $270 for its lucky new owner. $305 if you like my edge on it. That is the Spartan Blades Aries fixed blade. Next up, this doesn't happen very often, and it shouldn't. Don't know why it happened this time. We have one from the Great Eastern Cutlery Tidioute Cutlery Division. It's the 93 Ramfoot, model 933119er in Oily Creek bone. And some of the best looking Oily Creek bone I've ever seen. There's your show side. There's your pile side. Very, very nice dimensional match. The 93 is 3 7/8 inches closed. It sports a single ramfoot blade with the Patty's potato peeler etch. Pull weight is a 7. Walk and talk are stunning. Centering is dead. Condition, we will say near mint to like new in tube. Can't find these in this cover. For sale or recently sold on eBay. Guys are hanging on to them. We ran it last week at $225. It didn't sell. We dropped to $200 for the weekend. Still here. $185 this week, and there will not be a price drop. My seller has told me if it don't do $185, send it home. $205 if you like it with my edge. That's the GEC Tidioute number 93 Ramfoot. Next up, kind of a modern classic from Zero Tolerance, ZT. Experience it. The knife in the box is a ZT0452 CF Sinkovich carbon fiber folder. This is the big Sinkovich, the 452. A full 5 3/16 in handle length, gorgeous carbon fiber showside scale, stonewashed titanium business side. It is a steel inserted frame lock, sporting an ambidextrous tip up deep carry clip. Flipping action on this one is better if you don't run it into the background. It flips beautifully. There's your S35 VN blade, 4 1/8 inches in length. There's your lock engagement. Lock is rock solid. Blade centering is perfect. Condition, near mint in box. I noted maybe it's been stropped. That's about it. These are currently still available on the interweb. Brand new price, minimum advertised price from ZT is $272. We ran this at $210 last week. Didn't sell. Dropped it to $190. Still here, so $175 this week. That would be a steal on this knife. $200 if you'd like it with my edge. The ZT0452 CF. Next we have one from the field grade line. of Spartan blades. The knife is the Ronin Shoto. So some almost cold steel like coarse G10, but it's a little more smooth, deep but smooth. It is a ringtail affair with a red G10 backspacer. Clip is going to be deep carry, but not really, right? Ambidextrous tip up. You've got a blade of some kind of black wash, so like a black PVD or DLC finish, and then tumbled. It is in CTS XHP. The Tanto blade is 2 5/8 long. The handle is 5 1/4 with the ringtail. Stainless steel liner lock mechanism. And I believe this is on Teflon washers, I believe. There's your lock engagement. It is rock solid. Nice smooth action. Beautiful blade centering. Condition on this will be near mint to like new in box. These are available currently brand new on the interweb for $131. We ran this at $100 last week, still here after a price drop to $90 for the weekend. This week, $80 on the Ronin Shoto. 100. That's not right. 110 if you like my edge on it. The Spartan field grade Ronin Shoto. Next up, we have one from We Knife. Inside the box is the 20005 Bravo Mote with the blue titanium handle. What a sweet, sweet little sort of Sunday go to meeting folder. So, we have a bead blasted and tumbled blade, an S35VN, 2 5/8 inches long. Nice little run of jimping. Love the contrast in finishes, not color, but finishes. So the handle is a blasted and then blue anodized and tumbled finish. The hardware all titanium but polished with the same blue ano, so just a great little contrast. Steel inserted titanium frame lock. There's your engagement. It is a ball bearing flipper. Blade centering is perfect. Flipping action is great. Lockup is rock solid. Let's see. I'm going to call it like new in the box. These are discontinued and out of stock. They were last available at $169 web retail. We ran this last week at $130, no sale. Dropped it to $115 for the weekend. Still here. This week it's going to make somebody a heck of a beautiful little pocket knife. $100 like it is. $125 with my edge. It's the WE 2005B Mote. In our last leftover from last week, another one from WE in the new style box, which I kind of like. It is the 054BL-2 Mini Malice from WE. A very squared away little pocket knife. Crowned, blasted, tumbled, titanium handle. Not a frame lock. It is a button lock flipper. Better than that. Better than that. There we go. Not quite a superb detent, but once your fingers get used to it, it'll be fine. Not a bad detent. I'm just not used to it yet. So let's see, 20 CV blade, 3 inches long, 4 inches of handle, right hand tip up milled titanium clip. Hardware matches the knife beautifully. Condition on the Mini Malice will be like new in the box. All the mechanics are perfect, by the way. Centering's perfect, lockup's perfect. These are $254 web retail, brand new. We ran this last week at $195, no sale. Dropped it to $170 for the weekend, still here. Let's do $155 like it is, $185 with an ApostleP edge. The WE 054BL-2 Mini Malice. Next up, this is rare that we get an ESEE knife with the full kit. Outer sleeve, inner box, all kinds of ESEE paperwork that you'll probably die in the woods if you don't have. It's all in there. I've got a dangle with screws to affix to the Kydex sheath with paracord lanyard. The knife inside, while we're all here, is the SE5. The black crinkle coat finish over the 1095 steel blade. Sort of a medium height saber grind crinkle coat finish. Looks like, I don't know, what is that, guys? Is that a 1/4 inch stock? I don't know. I don't think it's that much. Anyway, 5 3/8 blade, 5 9/16 handle in natural canvas micarta. Two beautiful slabs of micarta, by the way. Big old lanyard hole and an impact device. It is like new in box with the full kit. These are $180 new on the internet. How about $130 for this one? $130 for the SE5. Man, you could do a lot worse for a single knife system in the woods. All right, next up, time for a little run of American-made cutlery. We're going to start it with Spyderco. It is the Native Chief carbon fiber and S90V. Here we go. How about that? You guys know I love the Chief. I own the burnt orange Rex 45 version. Probably never going to sell it ever. So you got a long 5 1/16 handle. And that thing of beauty, a very elongated leaf-shaped blade. Superb skinny distal taper. Just a great all-around pocket knife. 4 1/8 inches of S90V. Rock solid lockup on the mid-lock. You have the bushing pivot, like most or all natives have. Lockup is perfection. Centering is as well. I'm going to call this near mint to like new in box. It's a sprint run knife out of stock and discontinued. Sold listings on eBay run between $190 and $235. This is a super nice example. We're going to do it at $205 like it is. $235 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Spyderco Native Chief in carbon fiber and S90. Next up, another golden Spidey. Whoops. This is, it started life as a plain Jane Shaman. Black G10, which are in this baggie. The scales in black G10, because the RGT burlap micarta scales are on the knife. Doesn't that look good? That sort of acid stonewash tumbled blade against that matte finish burlap micarta just looks gorgeous. Man, what a business knife that is, if business is cutting, right? Compression lock, 3 5/8 robust blade, 5/32 thick or so. And then you've got a 4 11/16 handle. Super ergonomic, super comfortable. You guys know this knife. Great action. Lockup is awesome. Centering on this one is going to be a little off to the left as you're looking at it. So we'll call it near mint in box just because of the scale swap. Now the Shamans are currently selling for web pricing of $252. This set of scales was $70. So $322 invested by my consignor. We're going to do this one at $245 like it is. $270 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Spyderco Shaman. And it says BKS30V with custom scales. Okay. Next up, another one from Spyderco. Looks like a GP pumpkin. Must have been bought last Halloween. This is the Grand Prairie Knives exclusive Native 5 lightweight in white and a Rex 45 blade. Look at that little stunner. So the Native 5 lightweight Carries the same blade, same handle shape, and bushing pivot as its G10 sister, but this in Volcano Grip white FRN. The mid-lock mechanism, solid lockup, beautiful bushing pivot action, beautiful blade centering. There's that Rex 45 blade. 3-inch blade, 4-inch handle. It is like new in box, perfect action centering lockup. These are discontinued, not a stock at GPK. Sold listings on eBay run between $125 and $160. I would call this a like new in box perfect example, and your price is going to be $130 like it is $160 with an Apostle P edge on that Rex 45 blade. It's the Spyderco Native 5 lightweight white Rex 45. Next up, another beauty from Spyderco, Golden, Colorado, USA Earth. Box says Paramilitary 2 black and OD green. Well, because it is. This Paramilitary 2 is a dealer exclusive for DLT trading. OD green G10, black oxide finish clip, DLC blade. Blade steel is S90V. Not quite a free swinger, but pretty close. Rock solid lockup. Blade centering pretty much dead down the middle. Condition on this one will be like new in the box. These are discontinued and out of stock at DLT. Sold listings on eBay run between $198 and $310. This is a pristine example. The clip has never been moved. Your price, $230 like it is, $260 with an Apostle P edge. That's in your inventory as Spyderco Para 2 OD S90 DLC. Next up, you know, there's just not a lot to say about this knife. It's a Spyderco, not from Golden, but from Seki City, Japan. It is an Endura FFG. So an Endura 4 with a full flat ground blade. They've been making this knife for a few years. There are probably millions of them in circulation. It's basic black FRN. It's got a black clip. It has a full flat ground blade in VG10. It has perfect lockup, nice action, perfect centering, and the condition is like new in the box. Currently selling at Spyderco minimum advertised pricing on the interweb at $95. This one can be yours, $75 plus no tax and no postage. All in, $75 like it is, $100 with an Apostle P edge. If you don't have an Endura, buy it. Every collection should have an Endura. Next up, here's a pretty cool little affair. It's a Benchmade, and it is a 535 GRY-1 Bugout. We all know this knife. It comes with that dark gray blade. Comes with these, what do they call this? What do they call this color? Ranger green Grivery scales. But they're not on the knife, are they? They are not. Instead, my consignor has installed, and I'm not sure what brand these are, but there's some pretty cool aftermarket scales. I don't know the material. I want to say it's OD green canvas micarta, and it kind of looks like that when you look at the inside edges. You got that gray shorty deep carry clip. You got your blade in S30V, and it looks like it's been touched up. Lockup is dead rock solid. Action is fine. And blade centering is just about dead down the middle. Condition will be near mint in box. So let's see. By the way, 3 3/16 blade, 4 1/4 handle. Current map price for the GRY-1 Bugout is $171 web new, plus the cost of the scale. So I don't know, figure what, $220, $225 total invested. Your price $140, like it is $165 with an ApostleP edge. That is the Benchmade 535 GRY-1 Bugout plus custom scales. Next up, another one from Benchmade. It is the Mini Osborne, the 945, in the sort of OG configuration. Dark green, hard anodized aluminum scales, purple, anodized titanium standoffs, the Parkerized split arrow clip, S30V blade, 2 7/8 inches in length. The handle is 3 13/16. Axis lock mechanism on phosphor bronze, rock solid lockup, free dropping blade. Centering is dead. Now the only thing keeping this from being called like new is there's a little wear in the ano from a left-hand carry set up at some point, just right there. So near mint inbox. Price of these brand new internet price is $207. My goodness, thank you, Brandon. Appreciate that. But you're not going to pay $207. Let's do $155 like it is, $180 with an ApostleP edge. The Benchmade 945 Mini Osborne. Next up, hey, if you didn't notice, Independence Day almost here, and to celebrate, we have this one from Hogue. It is the 24265 Deka Warncliffe with red, white, and blue lava G10. Look at that. How's that, huh? Yeah. So the Deka, I think the first of Hogue's able lock knives. So the post-patent Benchmade lock. It's wearing a deep carry clip in black, but somewhere over here, right here, I have the original clip, which is not deep carry. Now it is going to be ambidextrous tip up. All right. Alan Elishowitz design. A Nightmare Ground Sheepscliff blade in beautifully stonewashed 20 CV. I got rock solid lockup on that 3 3/16 blade. There's your 4 1/4 inch handle. It is beautiful in the hand. Let's see about the action. Free dropper. Rock solid lockup. Hard to see, but the centering's dead. Condition on this will be, we'll say, I don't know, near mint to like new. These are discontinued and out of stock. When they were available, they had web price of $157 brand new. Apparently they've gone up a little bit, maybe just in this scale configuration, but just one sold listing for this exact knife on eBay. It did $166. Let's do this one at $135 like it is. $165 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Hogue 24265 Deka. Next up, man, this knife has been the darling of the modern folder community for like a year. It's from Protech, and it's actually a DLT exclusive Malibu with the solid black handle DLC coated blade and a blade in M390. And I don't think these knives are doing enough money, frankly. Somebody's gonna get a deal, and I bet you they're going up. So there you are, a murdered Malibu. It is a button lock manual action flipper. Clip is deep carry right hand tip up only. Great flipping action for a button lock. There's your DLC blade. There's your etch on the spine, Protech M390. So the Malibu has a blade that's 3 5/16 inches long, 4 3/16 inches a handle. I think there's a little lube in the lock interface because I got just a little stick with the button, but it'll go away with use. This consignor lubed the heck out of his knives. Anyway, these are out of stock at DLT. When they were available, they were $229, but guess what? You can't buy one for $229. Sold listings on eBay ranging all the way up to $375. You're not going to pay that for this one, though. Let's do, and it is like new in the box, and everything's perfect. Okay. $250 will do like it is. $280 with an ApostleP edge. It's the Protech Malibu Murdered M390. Next up, it's the fun budget knife portion of tonight's sale, and that means CRKT. We got two of them, and here's the first. It is the 5250 NERC tie. The NERC tie, which doesn't fit the normal tie nomenclature, does it? It's not a Mai Tai or anything like that. Here you go. Look at that thing. How's that for fun? So it's a stainless steel lockback with a very interesting way of achieving that, right? So satin on the outside, blue anno on the recesses. So watch the mechanism. You push back here like any old lockback. Well, let's flip it out here. And that lifts the lock bar on sort of a fulcrum kind of a mechanism. The blade is Os 8, 3 15/16 inches long. The handle is 5 3/16, designed by Brian Ty. Is it Dan Klecker? So the lockup is solid. It is a ball bearing flipper, by the way. A lockback ball bearing flipper. Isn't that interesting? Flipping action's awesome. Actually pretty ergonomic. So yeah, the clip is right hand tip up, by the way. Perfect action, centering, lockup. Near mint to like new in box. These are discontinued and out of stock when they were available at a web price of $93. Let's do 75 on this one. 100 with an ApostleP edge. The CRKT 5250 NERC tie. Next up, another one from CRKT, an Ikoma design. There's no model label on the box, but we know that it is a Fossil. And this is wearing that, it's sort of an orangey brown and black milled G10 set of scales, and then the stainless steel liners are also milled to emulate that same pattern. Got a very crazy looking but effective right hand tip up clip. It is a stainless steel frame lock ball bearing flipper. Blade steel's 8CR13. It has a 4-inch blade. The handle is 4 15/16. There's the engagement on your stainless steel frame lock. It is rock solid. Centering down the middle. Condition near mint to like new in box. Web price of these brand new is $70. Let's do $50 all in, shipped priority mail, 75 with an ApostleP edge. That's the CRKT Fossil. Next up, we have one from Jack Wolf Knives. Modern interpretation, timeless design. The knife inside is the Cyborg Jack in fat carbon DM orange covers. Comes with a nice little split grain pocket slip. Inside there's a knife, and by the way, the can, the goodies all in there. Look at that little son of a gun, would you? Very interesting lines on this design. Good job, Ben. So titanium frame, the bolsters and end caps are integral to the liner. So one-piece titanium slabs milled out to accommodate the covers on both sides. Full-length back spring. Nail neck. Clip point. As close to a full flat grind as we could get, or it's a full height hollow, I'm sorry. Blade steel is M390. You got a 2 15/16 blade, a 4-inch handle. It's a half-stop slip joint. Pretty stellar walk and talk. About a 7.5 pull. Beautiful blade centering, condition like new in the box. These are out of stock everywhere. They were $300 web or retail when they were available. Just found one sold listing on eBay for this configuration at $276. Let's do this one at $260 like it is $285 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Jack Wolf Cyborg Jack. Next up, we have one from Massdrop and Eric Ox. This is the Massdrop Ox Orca. This might be the most ambitious Massdrop knife I've ever seen. Just look at this. So, marbled carbon fiber. We have a milled demarcation between the scale area and the faux bolster area, and the faux bolster area is stippled. I don't know how they milled that. That's pretty impressive because it looks so random. You have a Timascus clip, I believe. It is going to be right-hand tip-up only. All purple anodized titanium hardware. We'll call it a titanium liner lock knife, but those liners are super thick. It has thumb studs. And it has a flipper. And it has some ball bearings. A harpoon spear point. The blade is 3.5 inches of RWL34. There's your engagement on the thick titanium liner lock. It is rock solid, no stick. Centering is perfect, as is the action. We will call this near mint to like new in box. These are out of stock at drop. On eBay sold listings, there was just one sold knife, and it was a buy it now listing at $350, and it sold on a best offer accepted. So something less than that, right? On this one, let's do $295 like it is. $320 with an ApostleP edge, the Massdrop Ox Orca. Next up, we've got a flashlight, and it is from Ace Beam. Now, it comes in a rather interesting looking sheath because there's a lot of light up here. Yeah. So you've got your normal modern flashlight configuration, black hard anodized aircraft grade aluminum handle. It is a clicky button on the end with a crenulated protector, so it'll stand on its tail, it'll stand on its face. It's pretty cool stuff. Very interesting lens and emitter configuration. Actually very cool looking. This light, I'm not quite sure how all the modes work, but I'm sure they do. It does have USB charging, by the way. Anyway, 2200 lumens and 6 7/16 inches of overall length. Price of these brand new is $105. And I'm going to call this one like new, no box, and let's sell it for $80 shipped priority mail. That is the Ace Beam L19 flashlight. So let's put that thing back in its little sheath. That's a great light to have if you have to go outside and check the perimeter late at night. Bright, bright, bright. Next up. Man, somebody needs to grab this. I know they're not worth a lot of money, but they sure are sweet. Look at that box. This wasn't made last year. This is the Schrade Old Timer 98 OT in the original packaging. From, I'm thinking late 80s, early 90s probably. Just a super sweet little pocket knife. Serpentine Stockman, 3 9/16 inches closed length, nickel silver bolsters, brass liners, saw cut Delrin covers, main blade, muskrat clip, everything's on cams with beautiful walk and talk, center sheep's foot, and on the back side like a mini spay. Beautifully finished blades. Beautiful walk and talk. And I don't think there's any rub on these blades. Let's see. Nothing. Nothing. That's pretty impressive, boys. And this is a very near mint in-box knife. They made so many of them, and this is back when these were made in America. And they haven't been for many years. Great example. You know how hard it is to get a linerless Stockman Congressing configuration with the blades not rubbing? They did her. Your price is $40 like it is, $75 my edge on all three blades. The Straight Old Timer 98 OT. Next up, a pretty cool knife from a company that lives on pretty cool knives. It's a Victorinox, and the knife inside is the Angler in red. So it's a bigger knife, the 91mm frame. Look at that, you've got your Swiss Army Cross, and it's an angler. So we have a fish inlaid. How about that? So let's go through the blade set. Main spear point. Secondary pen. Pliers. And then your usual, right? On the back side, we got, what do we got back here? We have an awl with a sewing eye. We got a corkscrew, because you got to have wine with your fish. And then the usual toothpick, tweezers, and split ring. Very near mint because of that one little rub in the plastic. These sell new for $57 web retail. Let's do this one at $40 like it is $65. I sharpen both blades. Victorinox Angler in red. Next up, here's a very interesting knife for you osseophiles. It's a Victorinox, and it's a climber, but it is the Australian flag climber. Which, whether you have Australian ties or not, this is just a super, super, super cool set of scales. Yeah, orange, white, and blue. One little scuff in the plastic. Other than that, it's like new. So here's your tool set. Main spear. Secondary pen. In the middle, we've got, what do we got in the middle? Let's see here. How do you grab them there? Is it here? Yeah. Scissors in the middle. And then your screwdriver and cap lifter and wire bender tools. Back side. All with sewing eye. Come on, get out of there. Get out of there. Parcel hook. Corkscrew. Toothpick tweezers. Pretty cool. 91mm frame. These got to be pretty rare. I couldn't find one listed or sold anywhere. So that in mind, let's do $60 like it is $85 with ApostleP edges on both blades. That's the Victorinox Climber Australia flag. Next up, we have come to the Save Me From Myself moment in tonight's sale. I'm going to tell you right now, boys, buy this by $9.17 or it's mine. I love this. You know, when Great Eastern Cutlery was brand new, it did some OEM manufacture for certain brands. They did some Schrades. Did they do any Remingtons? I don't know. But they're kind of doing them again. So these were made, I think, what, 2022? Yeah. And this is the Remington Cowboy Granddaddy Barlow American-made Remington knife. How about that? There's your packaging. Very old school. Very old school. And here is the knife, and it's just beautiful. This is just, it's gorgeous. You've got Granddaddy Barlow bolsters, double lined. The shield is, of course, a bullet, and then stamped sterling, as in silver. Gorgeous saw cut bone. Bare end, of course. 4 11/16 inches of closed length. The blade is a clip, full flat ground, long pull, cut swedge. Remington UMC tang stamp. And the year. Okay. Yeah. You know, I wrote 8 pull, but I would say it's more like a 7.5. Beautiful walk and talk. That big long blade is center dead. What a great knife. We'll say like new in the box. These are actually available still, brand new, for $200 plus tax, maybe plus postage, at your favorite online retailer. Let's do this one. All in, shipped priority mail, $170 like it is, $195 with an TheApostleP Edge. The Remington UMC Granddaddy Barlow, made by GEC. Next up, the sleeper in tonight's sale from Great Eastern Cutlery's Tidioute Cutlery Division. A number 668214 calf roper slim in rust red saw cut bone, and one of my favorite pieces of GEC lore. Sometimes they mark a knife with an S on the cap for store only, and it has nothing wrong with it. I would say this is one of those knives. Here we go. Very rare to see saw cut bone on a non-bare ended, non-Barlow, right? But here you go. The calf roper, a very slight serpentine curve. Look at those covers. So the slim means everything is nestled down into the frame very well, almost flush. So the main blade, and there's a little depression to get to the neck, is going to be a little muskrat clip. Cam tangs, nice walk and talk. Secondary blade is a pen. Super slight rub on those, by the way, but very slight. Pull weight, I don't know, what am I saying here? 7. We'll call it near mint to like new in tube, and I can find no reason why it's marked store only on the cap. So spend the rest of your life trying to find it. Unobtainium, could not find a comp. Your price, $185 like it is, $215 I sharpened both blades. The GEC Tidioute number 66, calf roper slim. Next up, this one just warms my cockles, because I bought one of these last year at the Rendezvous. Check it, boys. There's no writing on the tube caps. There's a label that says 73 standard in green tea. Number 011. This knife from 2007. I bought this because acorns are rare. Not this knife, but one just like it. And I bought it because of what I'm calling pick bone. The green tea just ages beautifully, and the pattern in that pick bone is absolutely stunning. So what are these? Not quite 4 inches and maybe just 4 inches in overall length. They got the closed end so debris doesn't get into your mechanism. You have a main drop point with the acorn etch. Pull weight is, I'm going to say, an 8. Walk and talk, stunning. Secondary spay. Everything squared away. And way back in 2007, GEC could center the blades. How about that? I'm going to call it like new in tube. There's a slight rub on the backside of the main blade. I'm not sure what caused that. Anyway, probably been there since it was new. Only one of these recently sold on eBay. It was a buy it now listing at 400 bucks that sold on a best offer accepted. This is way too cheap, guys. Your price, $250 like it is, $280 with an ApostleP edge. This would be one of those GECs you want to keep forever. It'll be significant. The GEC Acorn number 73 Scout Trapper. Next up, another one from GEC. In Northfield Premium Pocket Knife, it's a 74 Mustang, model 745120 in Arizona Ironwood. Do I have the twin to this? I might. So, interesting here. Interesting that GEC chose a matte finish or a satin finish because it is, I think, hiding the beauty of that ironwood. If you finish that satin, it oxidizes quickly and you can barely see the grain. If you polished it, oh my, who knows how wonderful it would look. Anyway, so it's your 74 frame, 3 13/16 inches in length. I have a 1095 drop point blade with that Mustang etch. 7.5 pull. Walk and talk are robust. Centering is almost dead. And there's your button. Condition on this will be like new in tube with button. There are two current listings on eBay. Both buy it now, so they are $251 and $266 with postage. This one could be yours $225 like it is, $245 with an ApostleP edge. The GEC 74 Mustang. Next up. Such a sweet pocket knife. From Great Eastern Cutler in the Northfield Unexcelled line, we have one of the Yellow Rose series. This one is the 81 Coonskinner model 818222 in smooth yellow rose bone. Of course, it'll come with that button. And here's the knife. Oh. So the 81 generally would be thought of as a serpentine Stockman pattern, but not in this case. It is an equal end, opposite end jack with dueling muskrat clips. There's your Yellow Rose shield, double line polished bolsters, and the gorgeous Yellow Rose bone. Let's see. There's your Yellow Rose etch, if I'm picking that up. Interesting match striker nicks. Cam tang action, about 7 pull. Walk and talk are awesome, and just very, very slight blade rub, because that's how they roll on that linerless congressing pattern. So we're going to call it near mint to like new in tube. Sold listings on eBay run between $216 and $250. This one, 200 bucks like it is, $230. I sharpen both blades. The GEC Northfield number 81 Yellow Rose Coonskinner. Next up, here's a fun one. It's a fun one. And our last GEC tonight, it is from the Tidioute line. It is a number 852221CL. That is an 85 crown lifter in cherry natural smooth bone. And you're going to get an 85 crown lifter button. Oh, and then a knife. You get a knife. Here we go. So it's that 85 teardrop jack. Love the cherry natural bone. Main blade is that gorgeous 85 spear, long pull cut swedge. It does have a light etch. I'm thinking that my seller must have polished off a spot. Okay. $7.5 pull. Secondary implement, you knew what it was. Both implements are beautifully centered. We'll call it near mint in tube, light etch noted, and couldn't find any sold or current listings for this knife in this cover material. I think it's kind of rare. It's kind of like the cherry soda version. Your price on this one, $200 like it is, $220 with an ApostleP edge. GEC Tidioute number 85 crown lifter. Next up, we have one from those guys, from Microtech. The knife inside is the Signature Series SOCOM Bravo Tonto Edge in DLC titanium handle, DLC standard blade, DLC hardware, and carbon fiber scales. I gotta say, it's pretty stunning. Just take a look. Anthony Marfione signed milled titanium clip, right hand tip up. Of course, titanium frame lock with a steel lock bar insert. Ball bearing pivot. DLC coated blade. Cool Tonto. And of course, the Bravo series are sold with the steel noted as premium stainless steel. That means it could be M390. It could be CTS 204P. It could be LMAX. We just don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Blade length is 3 15/16. Handle 5 3/16. There's your lock engagement. There's your centering. How is the lockup? It's perfect. It is like new in the box. These were $495 web retail when they were available, but they ain't no more. Your price on this one, $400 like it is, $435 with an ApostleP edge, the Microtech SOCOM Bravo Signature Series. Next up, man, if I've had one of these in before, I don't remember it. It's from Null Knives. Null Knives. Null, but not void. So the knife inside by the certificate of authenticity is the Raiden S, made this February. Blade is acid washed. The handles are static washed. Not sure what that means. And then the hardware is black PVD coated. Here is the Raiden S. Pretty good looking titanium handles in static wash. Milled titanium, hidden hardware, right hand tip up clip, steel inserted titanium frame lock, thumb studs and bearings, gorgeous harpoon spear point, M390 blade, 3 1/4 inches long, 4 7/16 handle. There's your gear pattern backspacer with a very cool hidden lanyard hole. There's your lock engagement. Oh, the action's silky. Perfect centering. Condition on this one, like new. In the box, these are out of stock at $285 web retail. Sold listings on eBay run between $350 and $400. Really? You guys love these. Your price on this one, though, $290 like it is, $320 with an ApostleP edge. The Null Knives Raiden S. Next up, got one from the Ultramar collection of Ramon Chavez. Knife inside is a Renduncion 229 drop point in hand satin, not grinder satin. You'll see the difference. There's your titanium show side scale. There's your business side. It's rocking the Mick Jagger skull clip. 4 9/16 inches of handle. 3 9/16 inches of blade. There is your hand rub satin finish. M390. There's your lock engagement. Steel inserted 3 o'clock lockup. Ball bearing action, silky, silky, silky. Blade centering, perfect, perfect, perfect. Condition, like new in the box. Web price of these brand new was $375. They're gone. Your price on this one, $300 like it is, $330 with an ApostleP edge. The Chavez Ultramar Rendition 229 DP for drop point. Next up, man, we had one of these a few months ago. I'm kind of shocked that Reate produced such a knife because it's really cool. It's from Reate and it's the EXO with black canvas micarta inlays, 3V double edge blade, and a bead blasted titanium handle. What's so cool about it? Well, it's this, guys. It's a gravity knife. Locks up with this here lug. There's your 3V blade. 3 11/16 inches. Yes, the top edge is sharpened. That's pretty cool. Now, it's not going to lock up like a bank vault because this mechanism just isn't designed to do that. Simple, reliable forever. Hard to beat that. Just pretty cool stuff. I'm sorry. It's 3V blade, 3 11/16, handles 5 1/8. Arizona Custom Knives had several of these that are sold out, and they did between $4.95 and $5.95. This one, like new in box, $3.75 like it is, $4.15 I sharpen both sides. That's the Reate EXO. Next up, if I didn't have a general disdain for Chinese-made knives, I would own one of these. It's from Drop and Ferrum Forge. And the knife inside is the Ferrum Forge Crux in bronze tumbled titanium. Just a superb little pocket knife. It is a steel inserted titanium frame lock. It has an ambidextrous tip-up milled titanium clip. It is a ball bearing flipper. The blade is S35VN, just a gorgeous drop point. There's your lock engagement. Blade length is 3 3/8. The handle's 4 3/8. It's rock solid. Centering is dead. Condition is like new in the box. I think these are currently available at Blade HQ for $171. This one can be yours. $125 like it is, $150 with an ApostleP edge. The Drop, Ferrum Forge, Crux, bronze. Next up, well, it's another one from Drop and Ferrum Forge. Again, a pocket knife that, I don't know, were it not made in China, I would own one of. Here we go. It's the Gent in carbon fiber. We'll call this a titanium liner lock with carbon fiber scales, although the liners are super thick. Clip is going to be polished, deep carry, ambidextrous. Tip up. Ball bearing flipper. Kind of a dark blast blade. And S35VN is your material. 3-inch blade and a 3 15/16 inch handle. There's your lock engagement. It's rock solid. Your ball bearing pivot's beautiful. Oh, the centering's dead down the middle. Condition like new in the box. These are available at Blade HQ right now for $140. Your price on this one, $100, like it is, $125 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Drop Ferrum Forge Gent CF. Next up, we have one from Urban EDC Supply. The knife inside, one of theirs I haven't seen. It's the Nessie in brown micarta and a Bowler M390 blade. There is your brown micarta. There is your titanium frame. There is your right hand tip up milled titanium clip. Steel inserted titanium frame lock. ball bearing flipper. Kind of a sow belly spear. Horizontal satin on the flats, stone washed on the primary bevel. 3 5/16 blade, 4 9/16 handle. There's your lock engagement. Oh, it's a ball bearing flipper if I didn't mention it. Flips great. There's your engagement. Rock solid. It's like new in the box. Web price of these brand new is $239. This one, $175 like it is. $205 with an ApostleP edge. The Urban EDC Nessie. And that brings us to the last knife in tonight's sale. Never seen one of this guy's offerings. That is the maker's mark of G.E. Chen. And the knife inside is a little fixed blade. It's the Falcon 2. It's wearing a fold-over style Kydex sheath that is set up to accept a tech lock but does not come with one. Very nicely made. No rattle. Nice snap coming out. Kind of looks like a Bastinelli, doesn't it? I thought. Anyway. Number 12 of 100, it says. 3V blade with sort of a blackwash finish. 3 11/16 inches of blade. 3 11/16 inches of handle. With black milled G10 removable scales. Very nice in the hand. In a lot of grips and for a lot of tasks. Let's see. They rave about their heat treat. Triple tempered cryo 3V 59 to 60 Rockwell. These are currently available on Arizona Custom Knives for $125. Your price on this one, $90 shipped priority mail. $115 with an ApostleP edge. That is the G.E. Chen Falcon 2. Which brings us to the end of another weekly knife sale on the ApostleP channel. Hope you enjoyed it. I sure did. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. Now commence to clicking.